Hey guys, just wanted to give you guys some steps and like a rundown of what we've done so far. I realize that we've been kind of slack and undocumented in this whole thing because we've just been so busy. But yeah, if you haven't already seen what we're doing or haven't seen the previous videos I made, they're on YouTube, they're on Facebook. They kind of document and show like our thought process and why we just decided to uproot our lives and quit our jobs and end up traveling. So I wanted to give you guys kind of a rundown on like what we've done and what you can do if you decide you want to do something like that. Yeah, I don't know, kind of do a good little spin. I'm gonna write this down and then at the end, I'll like show you the list and then you'll be able to go from there. So step one is don't be a bitch. And the big thing for this is, there's always an excuse as to why you don't, either why you can't do something, why you don't want to do something. Like, we get it. But something like this is going to take courage. It's going to take a lot of balls and a lot of guts. So if you are willing to try it, like use our videos and we'll document this whole process. And if it's something you think you can do, or if you have questions, you can always ask us. Like I said, my previous videos, if you guys don't know me, I'm an open book, and I don't really care. The reason I'm an open book is because I don't really care what other people think about me or really have any impact on my like how I carry myself as a person or how I treat others. So step two, you're gonna have to save, right? And the only reason I say save is because this is all part of us quitting our jobs and leaving, right? But the only reason we can do this is because for us, we saved and we're planning for retirement based on rental properties. The market in Reno just skyrocketed, so we said screw it. We're done with the stress and extra stuff, and sold all of our rental houses. And then now we're using that as a buffer just in case. But the goal is within the next couple of months to be able to be like a self-sustaining income in terms of like our bills. And there's a ton of side jobs. There's a ton of different things that you can do. So that goes into number three. It's going to be research. And you're going to want to research as much as you can, not only for like side jobs, but also for what you want to do. Do you want, for us, we have 5 dogs, myself and my wife, and the crazy thing is, Serena, she likes her space. She likes to have kind of bigger stuff, and the great example is like, the closet. I don't even have room for my stuff in the closet because it's all hers, and she's slowly kind of separating herself from that and realizing like, hey, I only need certain things. So you're going to have to, the savings is going to be based on what you want to do, what you want to live in, how you want to like maintain your lifestyle, right? So that's what you're going to do on research. And it comes in really 3 different levels, or at least I think 3 different levels. Research side jobs and what you can do for income. You want to research the type of vehicles you want, or what you think you can afford, what you want to do, and then that's all going to tie into pretty much the next one, which is going to be your finances. And I say research your finances because for us, we went from making about $250,000 a year to literally nothing, and so prior to doing that, you have to be willing to separate yourselves and your lifestyle from things that you don't need, right? So for us specifically, we cut out all of our memberships that we just had and would use. If we only used it maybe once or twice a month, yeah, it's gone. We sold vehicles. We cut down all of our insurance costs, and we're about to rent out this house too. And so that all comes with the research in terms of like what your finances are going to be if you cut ties with everything that you don't need in life. And the hard part to that is trying to forecast, like what you plan on doing, but then scrub your financial statements and your banking documents, because that stuff is going to be key and kind of show you how you live normally, right, before you quit your jobs, and then what you're planning on doing going forward. You know, hey, I have to minimize going to freaking In-N-Out, which we all fucking love, but I probably shouldn't go there because, you know, for $10 a meal, I can go and I can buy enough stuff for an entire day for my wife and I. So that's the kind of stuff I mean on like the finances, and banking apps are amazing at this. Number 4, so far we got don't be a bitch. Number 2 is save, because you need to be able to have some sort of buffer or some way to kickstart what you're planning on doing. Number 3, research, and then comes into number 4. That's when you actually start pulling the trigger, right? Pull the trigger. Big thing for this is, you know, you've already don't second guess yourself and don't doubt that you can or can't do something, right? That's all, it's all up here, and it's all whether you have the drive to maintain and keep your goals, right? And if, like, for us, we went out, we did the research on the vehicle we wanted. We figured out, okay, you know, cruise, well, more like trolled Facebook, Let Go, all those other sale apps, and we ended up getting an awesome RV, and we ended up scoring on that. So that'll be the next video. I'll give you a tour of that and then tell you kind of how I went along that way, but or you know, like how I got it ready for us to leave. So on the action portion of this, right, you have the ability, I don't know how I want to say that, you should be able to forecast exactly what you need to do. Let's put it that way. And that's all coming in the research side. And if you feel like you're kind of getting yourself in over your head, like, that's, I mean, for us, that's normal. Like, I second guessed everything I was doing to make sure that it was, you know, what we wanted to do. And, you know, I had my wife constantly supporting me. Plus, she just straight up quit before I did. So that's helpful to me, you know, like, oh, hey, no turning back now. But yeah. Now, so once you start this plan and you start everything, you know, in motion, you need to start planning for, I guess, planning and preparing for like a longer trip like that, right? So you're going to go through, you're going to inventory pretty much everything that you would need on like a daily life, like with your daily lives, but also the what if scenarios. And that's what I'm best at, I think, is like, okay, so I'm going to have all these freaking tools, but like the question is, like, do I even really need all this stuff? Like, I mean, I'm sitting here with all my Ryobi tools and stuff, but the reason is because, you know, you never know when you're going to need them, but at the same time, you got to be able to, you know, cut ties with what you absolutely need and what you don't. For us, preparing also led to, you know, like pretty much moving out of this house. And if I was to show, I'm kind of embarrassed if I was to show you how bad this kitchen is, but we've been packing and moving all of our stuff out into a shipping container for the last, week now. So, yeah, so, and that's where we've left off right now, is like preparing and getting ready for this big adventure. And the last thing I'm gonna do, number 6, is you can start. You know, you can start either. I mean, a good buddy of mine, like Justin Playton, he's an avid traveler, and all he does is he works for like 6 months and then he quits his job, or he gets laid off for, like, if it's a seasonal job, and then he'll travel, right? And it's all based on his finances, how he planned to spend his finances, but then also how he picks up side work. He calls them side hustles. So to be able to, like, support your lifestyle and becoming kind of like, you know, off the grid in terms of like not working for the man, start doing those small projects, and it actually like will condition you into the smaller work, and then into kind of knowing your net worth, and then also understanding what you can do on like a significantly less stress basis, as opposed to, you know, a normal 9 to 5, or, you know, whatever your work is. So start side hustles. And then I guess I said number 6 was last, but Actually, number 7 is also going to go back to number 1, which is don't be a bitch. There it is. Don't be a bitch. Save. Do your research. Pull a trigger on what you're going to end up doing or what you want to do with your life. Prepare for any type of like planning, which I mean you can do the preparations and stuff way before too. Make sure you get an idea of the side hustles and all the stuff that you want to do to be able to make money, and then obviously that whole time it's going to be hard. It's tough because you're going to second guess yourself. I've had a job since I was 14. I'm 31 years old now, and I have never had an unemployment period in my life. And you know what? It's coming. Before I quit, it was probably the most nerve-wracking and stressful parts of my life for the last 16 years. But 17, I guess. If you call me out on it. But the catch is, when it's all said and done, and that 2-week notice is in, or you just quit, it's very freeing and life-changing. So like I said, you're gonna have doubts, you're gonna always make excuses. You'll find yourself like me making excuses for doing things. I'll do this, and then just never getting around to it. So that's when the action starts, and that's when you go through and you just start following through with what you want to do, because ultimately you're in charge with your own life and your own happiness. So thanks for watching.